Everybody wants true love, and it's really pretty simple, but it's not very easy. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is New Cosmic Knowledge. If you didn't watch the show yesterday with Wayne Steiger, you need to. Not Your Normal Sunday show. It was outstanding, if I may say so myself. Tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we have The Last Stand with the one, the only, Jay Campbell, freshly back from travels down to Mexico. Got a great show planned for you, so make sure that you're back here for that. Then I'm going to talk to you today about the secrets of true love. And let me make sure that I'm actually broadcasting here with sound and everything. It looks like I am. So the secrets of true love, ladies and gentlemen. Tracy says it was great. Lots of people rolling into the chat room. Rachel says great stuff lately. That doesn't say much for the stuff before lately. Of course, I'm just joking with you, Rachel, but hey, there we go. Chocolate is a health food. Somebody was listening to Wayne yesterday. And let's go ahead and let's just jump in and talk about love and the secrets of love being revealed and being revealed from the strangest of places from the pen of the Apostle Paul. But to be fair, if you know much about textual criticism, he actually stole this, hijacked this from the master, Yeshua, Jesus, the Lord, whatever you want to call him. So, and many people don't know, I believe for certain, and I believe I can prove that Paul met Jesus on at least 2 occasions, assuming they both existed. But at any rate, here's what the Apostle Paul wrote in the book of 1 Corinthians. Charity or love suffereth long, is kind, envies not, vaunteth not itself, it's not puffed up, doesn't behave itself unseemly, seeks not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things, and it will never fail. And it's interesting where it says her own. Is agapeo love feminine? Let's take a look. Jeff, what are you talking about? And it sounded different when Wayne read it because he read it from the amplified version of the Bible. But let me go ahead and give you what the Greek really says, because it is all Greek to you. It was originally written in Greek. So let's take a look at what it says. And it's going to give us some really good insights into the secrets of true love. And you can apply this love in your intimate relationships, marriages, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your in-laws, your outlaws. You can apply this to your family, all of your families. You can apply this just to people at work and your acquaintances, because it works every time it's tried. And just so we know, love, we're talking about agape now, or agapeo more correctly. There's actually 3 types of love talked about in the New Testament. This is love, benevolence, goodwill, esteem. It's actually called the God kind of love. It's moral preference love, and it's the divine love, as you see right here. There's agapeo, which is the divine love. There's phileo, which is like brotherhood, thus the name Philadelphia. I know that's funny, but that's where it comes from. And then finally, there is eros love, which is kind of gets a bad rap because everybody thinks it's sex love. It's physical, it's sensual, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you think about it, a good, healthy relationship is going to have the agapeo, the God kind of love, the love of moral preference, the love that you love their spirit, you love who they are. It's also going to have the phileo. It's going to have the brotherhood kind of love. And the best relationships do have also the eros, the sensual type of love. Nothing wrong with that. And I hope that if you don't have it, you'll find it, because it's good stuff. And we all need it. We all deserve it. And I think that we all should seek it. So we're talking about the agapeo, the divine love right now. First of all, it's patient. What in the world does it mean it's patient? Well, it is long-suffering. It forbears. It has perseverance. It's long-tempered. In other words, it doesn't get angry right away, and it doesn't retaliate with anger because it doesn't figure the way humans figure. It doesn't think in human terms. It doesn't reason in human terms. The problem that we have in our relationships when we get mad at each other, Almost all the time when we get mad at each other and lose our tempers, it's because we're thinking with human reasoning. We're thinking with our heads instead of our spiritual centers. What did he say to me? What does she mean by that? We put ourselves in the seat of the victim. They said that about me? They said that to me? We live in a victim mentality, and victim is spelled EGO. Whenever you feel like you're a victim, you are deep into ego. Lego my ego. That's what you're really saying. Whenever we get into human reasoning, we are getting into ego. And whenever we get into ego, we're into that human reasoning and we retaliate with anger. But the God kind of love is not in human reasoning, it's in divine reasoning. Thinking the way God thinks. Let this mind be in you that was also in the Christ. Oh, now it makes sense. Because if I've got the mind of Christ, then I'm not going to have the mind of Jesus Christ. If we have the mind of Christ, we're not going to have the mind of Jesus. If we have the mind of Christ, we're not going to have a mind of human reasoning, are we? And if we don't have a mind of human reasoning, we won't retaliate with anger because we'll be long-tempered. We'll defer anger. Why will we defer anger? How will we defer anger? As right on time they begin to work on the condo, so you get to hear the drills. How will we defer it? Because we're in divine reasoning. Out of ego. So you don't get mad. You don't retaliate with anger because you're in divine reasoning. And if you do get mad and if you do retaliate with anger, you are not in divinity. You're not divine. You're not sovereign. You're not free if you're reacting and retaliating with and in anger, period. Those aren't the words of Darty. Those are the words of somebody a lot smarter and somebody that lived a long, long time ago. So divine love is patient. It doesn't react in anger, and it doesn't retaliate in anger because it's not in a human mindset. It's in a divine mindset. And then it's also kind. Don't we all want to be kind? Full of service to others. Gentle. From the word Christos. Boy, that's not exactly a surprise, is it? It means to be kind. It means to be kind. To be full of service to others, to be gentle. When you're in the divine mind, it's easy to be kind. When you're in the divine mind, it's easy to act in Christos, right? It's easy to be kind and peaceful and loving when you're in the mind of the divine and not in your own twisted mind. Now, it's also not envious. And remember, again, it's still agape. It's not envious. What does that mean? It's not jealous. It's not jealous with, or it's not jealous of. It doesn't become hot and bubble over with zeal. So see, it's not really so much jealousy. It's this whole idea of reacting in anger. The word comes from imitating the sound of boiling water. Bubbling over because you get so hot that you burn with zeal. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Where's my cigar? I don't have it. Where are those things? Lost in the move. We're going to have to remedy that situation because this is a perfect time for I love it when a plan comes together. But love does not react with anger. It's not characterized by anger. It's characterized with gentleness because you're in the divine mind. And because you're in the divine mind, you're not going to be envious, which again, remember, envious means boiling over like a pot of water with anger. Are you beginning to see a trend, ladies and gentlemen? Are you beginning to notice a trend? Seems to me that the problem with most communication and most relationships is that it gets human rationale, and then we get angry, then we react in anger, and then we boil over like a pot of water in anger. It seems like the theme here is anger. We've got to eliminate anger, because anger is when things get said that can't be taken back. Anger is when things start flying and you're ducking and duking, juking and jiving. That's not Christ-like. That's not even adult-like. We've got to get past this anger, and we've got to get past it if we want to get into true love. And this is a secret of true love. Get past the anger. It's also not boastful. What does that mean? It's not boastful. It's not about yourself. It's not about vaunting yourself. Can't you see this whole thing? You get angry because you're in your own mind. You're not kind, and you boil over like a pot of water because you're worried about yourself. Service to self. Service to others. You can't be in service to others and get mad like this. But every time you're mad, you're in service to self, period. If you are reacting with anger, if you're characterized by anger, if you're not being kind, and if you're reacting with this type of fashion, it's because you're worried about yourself. You're being selfish. Your service to self. I didn't say that. I'm just delivering the message to you. Remember, I'm the mailman. If you are worried about yourself, if you're not in the divine mind, if you're not being kind, if you're reacting with and are characterized by anger, if you're boiling over like a pot of water, it's not hard to figure out why. It's because you're worried about defending yourself. You're worried about something that you're missing out on, or somebody's trying to take from you or steal from you. You're worried you're not going to get your fair share. It's also not puffed up. What does puffed up? Not pumped up, but puffed up. Arrogant, proud, full like a balloon, swelled up. Remember, somebody said that pride comes before a fall. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not hard to figure out. If you're full of yourself, if you're worried about yourself, if you're boiling over like a pot of hot water because you're not being kind and you're not in the mind of Christ, but you're in the mind of yourself, being characterized and acting in anger, you've blown it. And if you call yourself a Christian, if you call yourself a spiritual person, you're acting this way, get that con out of my face. Quit lying. If we say that we're in the master, if we say that we're in the Christ and we act like this, we are lying and we're making the master a lie. Just cut it out. And I'm talking to you. Yes, I am talking to you. And yes, I am talking to me. Just cut it out. Well, what do I do when they start getting all mad? Walk away. That's what Derek Bro says to do. Walk away. I did find out that when you say to someone, get off my cloud, that's not very effective communication in the heat of a disagreement. It's not nearly as funny to the person that hears it as it is to you saying it. I guarantee you, I found this out by personal experience. I don't recommend that you say, get off my cloud. That's something that you say in your head, but you don't want it to come out of your mouth. It's not going to go well. It's really not. I promise you from experience. But when you think it's all about you, that's when you've messed up. Because as long as it's about you, as long as you're in service to self, you're not ever going to be in true love. So do you want true love? The secret is get out of service to self and get into service to others. It's just that simple. And I would recommend with love, service to other, just make it one. Little joke there as well. Now, let's move on. agapeo love, the God kind of love, the divine kind of love, it also does not act unbecoming. What the heck does that mean, acting unbecoming? You don't act unseemly. You don't behave unbecomingly. You don't act without proper form. You're not rude. You're not nasty. You're not acting silly. You don't behave yourself like a lunatic. You're not ranting. You're not raving. You're not waving your arms. You're not turning red. You're not spitting. You're not getting in people's face. You're being polite if you're in the mind of Christ. If you're not, you're not. If you're not, you're not. And if you are, you ain't, ladies and gentlemen. And it does not seek the things of its own. What does that mean? It doesn't seek the things of him or herself. It's not trying to get its way, love isn't. It's also not easily provoked. It's not easy to irritate it. It's not easy to anger it. It's not easy to provoke it. Gulp. How easy is it to irritate you? How easy is it to irritate you? Some of you have a short fuse and some of you got no fuse. It's just boom. How easy is it to irritate you? I have the, I'll say, blessing of being a pretty patient guy. You really got to go out of your way to irritate me. You really got to try. I got a fuse. Some people don't have that. How easy is it to irritate you? How easy is it to anger you? How easy is it, ladies and gentlemen, to provoke you? No, it's easier to provoke me at times than I wish it were. But if it's very easy to provoke you, if it's very easy to arouse your anger, if it's very easy to irritate you, you're not acting in love. I didn't say it. Don't get mad at me. Talk to my boss. And it doesn't keep account of wrongs. This reminds me of Derek Bros talking the other day about the beast system. And the beast system is all about accounting. Reckoning, counting, deciding, counting, charging with. It's about keeping an account. Have you ever been in an argument with a person? I know none of you would ever do this. But have you ever gotten into a disagreement with someone and they bring up something that happened yesterday, day before, month before, year before, sometimes decade before, but you remember when you, I don't know why you do that, but I do know that when you are doing that, you're not acting in love. You are not acting in love because the divine kind of love doesn't keep a record of wrongs. It just doesn't keep account. It doesn't hold anyone in debt. It just doesn't. What else is it all about? It doesn't rejoice at unrighteousness. What does that mean? Unrighteousness. When someone is hurt or when someone is a victim of injustice, you don't say, ha, they had it coming. I know that they've been having it coming for years and I'm rejoicing because it happened to them. I'm happy because they got their comeuppance. I told you so. I know none of you ever act that way. But if you do, I'll guarantee you one thing, cousin, you are not acting in love. But it does rejoice. And what does rejoice mean? It means to congratulate. It means to be happy about. It is happy about truth. It is happy about truth. The idea of truth. Moral truth. Divine truth. Being straightforward. It doesn't lie. If you're lying, you ain't loving. And if you're loving, you ain't lying, cousin. It bears all things. What does that mean? It will cover. It will endure patiently. It will overlook all things. It will believe all things. It'll have faith in all things. And it will be faithful in all things. It will have hope in all things. Expecting the best. How many of you expect the worst as soon as your significant other opens their mouth? They say something, and instead of thinking, oh, I know what I heard, but I know he loves me, so there's no way he would have meant what I heard. What's the best thing he could have meant from those words? What's the best thing he could have meant by those words? But so often we say, I know what he meant by those words. And you go to the worst thing. The worst thing. Why do you do that to yourself? And why do you do that to others? I don't know. But I do know that you're not acting in love when you do that. And love also endures all things. It says it's okay. It hangs in there. It hangs in there. And as we get to the end, it never fails. It never lays down. It never gives up. True love doesn't give up. True love doesn't fail. True love doesn't quit. Now, I'm not talking about when you're in an abusive situation. I just need to say that because I don't want you to be in an abusive situation, a psychologically abusive or physically abusive situation. I'm not saying stay there and take the punches and the kicks. I'm not saying that, but we're just talking about not the extreme situations. We all know, get yourself into safety, remove yourself from harm's way. But we're talking about normal, everyday, come home from work, dishwashers overrunning, cars overheating, kids are running in 14 different directions, cats and dogs crapping on floors, dinner's burned, somebody's sticking toilet paper in the sink. You know what I'm talking about. Real world stuff. Divine love is not characterized and doesn't react in anger. It's polite and kind. It doesn't seek its own way. It's not all about me. It's not all about you. It doesn't instantly get mad because it's got rabbit ears and it thinks it heard something that it didn't hear. It doesn't act like a lunatic. It's calm. It's courteous. It's polite. One of the worst things of me is I hate rudeness. I loathe rudeness. And when people are rude to me, boy, I have a problem with it. I have a problem not going to the opposite of this. Don't be rude. Be polite. It doesn't seek its own way. It's not all about it. It's not easily provoked. How easily provoked are you? How easily irritated are you? How easy is it to make you mad? It doesn't keep track of things that people did and bring it up to them later and use it like a club. It doesn't do that. It isn't like, ha ha, when somebody has something happen to them in their life that's bad. And it is happy when good things and truth comes in to people's lives. It believes all things. It hopes all things. It hangs in there till the end. And that's why it never fails. If you want a love that never fails, keep hanging in there. Keep hoping, keep believing. And again, I'm not telling you to be abused. I'm not telling you to be cheated on. Let's be reasonable. Be happy when good things happen to people. Don't be happy when bad things happen to people. I told you this is simple, but it's not necessarily easy. Don't keep a record of what they've done or said or did. Forget about it. Don't be easily irritated or angered. Don't be self-centered. Be service to others, not service to self. Don't act like a jerk. Just be polite. Don't get all puffed up. You're not that important, and it's not about you anyway. Don't get jealous. Don't say, what's he talking about me, or what's she talking about me that way. Be kind. Don't be easily moved or characterized by anger. And then you'll be acting in agape or agapeo, the divine kind of love. And the divine kind of love never, ever fails. It works every single time it's tried. The reason it doesn't work is because it's not tried. Let me go to the chat room very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for all the great comments about the Sunday, Not Your Normal Sunday show. Busy helping. Chantel, nice to see you. Meditation man. Yeah, I do some meditating. Not always perfect, but I do. As they drill on the roof. Makes me think of love languages. Absolutely. That book's been floating around. So many great souls on this channel. Thank you, Chantal. Yes, not divine thinking for sure. This is a message I needed here, says Rachel. Thank you. Ego and desires are a downfall. Absolutely. Ergo, the ego. Absolutely. I say that every day. Every day I hear more truths from you. Thank you, Nancy. That's very kind of you. Here we go again with the drilling. We're almost done. Blessings. Thank you. Michelle Cannon Free. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Anger is stupidity. It's ignorance. Yes. Maybe I shouldn't call myself Captain Cantankerous. Maybe not. It's a choice. It is a choice. What's up, Jeffrey? You're on fire. Thank you, Joseph. Don't engage when you're angry. How about don't get angry? Act your age, not your shoe size. Mommy 420, that's a good one. Thank you, Michelle. Learn to see your thoughts as they happen. That's a good one. I needed this broadcast today, too. Irish temper. Yeah, don't blame it on the Irish. What happens when you never think of yourself? Robin says she has a long fuse. Good. Jeff, learning a lot from all your shows. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for saying I'm right. I can't hear that enough. Christians are all about being ministers of reconciliation. They should be. They certainly should be. How do we talk about ourselves without starting a letter? And Siri, why are you taking notes from me? The Christ turned over the money tables in a correct anger or not in anger? That's actually a good question. Was he angry when he turned over the tables of the money changers and stopped the sacrifice in the temple? That's a good question. That's a good question. And he did say, be angry, but sin not. Here's a good one. Raina says, my husband and I have a code word if either of us feel angry. And we take a few minutes to ourselves before any discussion. We learn to communicate without the emotion that is from ego. That's a great idea, Raina. Have a code word. And don't make it, you're stupid. Have a code word. I like that. Have a code word. You can say, okay, pizza pie. That means everybody's got to stop, go to your respective corners, and just chill for a minute. I like that. I really like that. If we react, we get grabbed by ego. I agree. Joseph Rizzo says, love is a choice. We're creatures of choice. Poor choices of mean words or behavior in our past never feels good. Love doesn't erase the past, but it makes the future different. Very profound. Thank you for that, Joseph. Very profound. I think a lot of issues stem from unresolved childhood traumas and projection. Yep. Oops, I thought about rejoicing about being malicious. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful stuff. Lots of great comments. The older you get, the more mistakes you've made, the more circumstances you've lived and learned from, the easier it is to forgive. It should be. I don't see that always as a real reality in life. Jeff, I love your spirit voice. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you, Melanie. Just the same. Yeah, I hate rudeness. It really bugs me. I probably need to get over it. We popped that 8.2 off with a single casualty. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it's funny. Getting rid of egos and mental gymnastics. It is. Someone told me years ago that when Jesus turned over the tables, it was justified anger. I don't know, maybe not. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of this drill. So I think we'll go ahead and end this here. But these really are the secrets of real love. And they're simple. They're very, very simple. Very simple. Any one of us can do them if we want to. Question is, tell me what you want, what you really, really want, like those great British philosophers, the Spice Girls said. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Do you want to be scary Spice or do you want to be happy Spice? I know there wasn't a happy Spice. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I did sit front row in a Spice Girls concert with my daughter. It was the longest 2 hours of my life, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm very happy that the next concert I went to her with was U2. Much better. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The secrets of real love. Take them or leave them, but don't say that you didn't get the memo, because you did. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is New Cosmic Knowledge. You're the last generation of real humans. Let's get busy and let's stop being fighters. Let's start being lovers, and we might as well do it in the divine fashion. I salute you for being here, seeking after truth. Namaste, love and light, and all that good stuff. Until next time, Jeffrey Daugherty, reminding you to unindoctrinate yourself. Keep asking questions. Keep questioning answers. And as Rex Bear would say, be excellent to each other.